Welcome back to J All Day, everyone. I'm bringing you an MMA Business Hour segment. We're going to go over all my picks for UFC 294, the main card. Let's get into it. To open up the main card of UFC 294, we have Muin Gafarov versus Saeed Nurmagomedov. Muin is 18-5, but if you look in the most recent years, he's pretty much a 50-50 fighter. 0-1 in the UFC, 1-0 in ACB. 3-3 in one championship. He's 0-1 in the UFC. I don't think this guy should be opening up a main card for the UFC. It's kind of stupid, actually. This fight with Saeed is definitely a mismatch. Saeed's 17-3. In his fights in the UFC, his 6 wins are 2 from decision, 2 from submission by guillotine, and 2 by finish. Ground and pound, he could choke you out. He can win a bunch of different ways, and he's just an all-around better fighter. His recent loss to Jonathan Martinez, Martinez has been killing it. He just had a big win last weekend. Martinez is going to be a top 5 guy in that division very soon, so losing to him, it's not really that big of a deal. I think Saeed comes in, he's going to take him down, ground and pound to submission, round 1 victory for Saeed. Let's move on. Next on the card, we have Ikram Aliskerov versus Warlley Alves. Warlley Alves has a lot of experience in the UFC, so I look for this fight to be pretty close, but he's lost to Nick Dalby, Jeremiah Wells, and Randy Brown. These guys aren't great fighters, so we'll really see if Aliskerov is going to make that next level up. If he goes in and dominates, then this guy can get a bigger and better fight. But if he loses to a guy like Warlley Alves, then this guy isn't the prospect that some people think he is. But I think Aliskerov gets the W. I think he wins by finish in the second round. Next up, we have a banger between Magomed Ankalaev and Johnny Walker. I think there's a lot of recency bias with Johnny Walker. Not too long ago, Johnny Walker was getting the shit beat out of him and knocked out on the reg. He does have wins over Anthony Smith, Paul Craig, and Ion Cutelaba, but Ion Cutelaba is a human punching bag. Anthony Smith is not the guy he was 4 or 5 years ago. He's old, he's washed. Anthony, I love you, but you're cooked, bro. And then Paul Craig is either submitting people or getting the shit beat out of him. So it's like he landed first, so he ended up winning the fight. But before that, he got smoked by Jamal Hill. He lost to Thiago Santos. And then he got knocked out by Corey Anderson. He lost to Nikita Krylov. There was a streak where he lost 4 out of 5 fights, man. And you think he's going to go in and beat Magomed Ankalaev? I don't see that happening at all. Magomed Ankalaev is 8-1-1. The last fight was that draw with Jan Blachowicz. A lot of people thought he won the fight, but he needs some more urgency, right? If he had some more urgency in that fight, he beats Jan Blachowicz, but they both kind of pitter-pattered around, and that's why the draw happened. So he's got to come out and be aggressive. If he waits to counterpunch, he could get clipped by Johnny Walker, and it won't be good for him. But I like Ankalaev to win this fight. I think he wins by TKO stoppage in the second round. This guy's a really good fighter. He's got wins over Krylov, Cutelaba, Ozdemir, Santos, and Smith. If he comes out and wins this fight, whoever wins this fight is probably going to be, almost in line for a title shot. I like Ankalaev here. Let me know in the comments below, who do you think wins this fight? For me, I like Ankalaev to get a second round stoppage in this fight, if not sooner. Johnny Walker is really hittable, and he doesn't have the best chin, and Ankalaev punches hard as shit. Let's get into the co-main event of UFC 294. We have KHAMZAT CHIMAEV versus KAMARU Usman, who is a considerable underdog, almost plus 300. I see this fight playing out in 2 different ways. Usman is either going to weather the storm, get through the first round, make the fight close, and win it decision 29-28, or KHAMZAT's going to pull Kevin Howland. He's going to beat the shit out of Usman, ragdoll him, ground and pound to a submission in the first round. But what do I think is more likely to happen? I made a video earlier about why I thought Usman could potentially win this fight, but that seems to be wishful thinking. KHAMZAT is a scary dude. Usman is old. KHAMZAT's probably going to ragdoll him, TKO him in the first round. But if Usman can weather that storm, he could definitely get into this fight. I'm going KHAMZAT CHIMAEV, first round, TKO stoppage. And finally, we move on to the main event of UFC 294. An epic rematch of epic proportions. This is a legacy fight. If Volkanovski can come off the couch in 12 days' notice and beat Islam, it will be a historic feat. Do I think that's going to happen? No. There's just too many things going against Volkanovski. And if you saw them at the face-off, Islam is just so much bigger than him. If they were the same size, skill for skill, I like Volkanovski. But man, when you're fighting a guy that much bigger than you, it's so much harder to get a W. And he's coming off of, I think, elbow surgery. on 12 days notice. And on the scale, he doesn't look like he's in insane Volk shape. He is looking like he's kind of come off the couch 12 days ago. And I think all those things going against him. They're fighting in Saudi Arabia. No chance in hell he's winning a decision. Zero chance. So he's going to have to stop Islam to get a victory, unless it's a beatdown for 5 rounds. I think Islam gets the victory by finish in the 4th round. Let me know in the comments below, do you agree with my picks? Am I an absolute dish shit? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next video. Peace!